I'm Brian Batista. My friends call me Bunny, and we're in my studio. This is a study of the La Queen, which is a sculpture I saw when I was at the Vatican. This is episode 6, Values. If you value what you do and you value your time, it's good value to really focus on how you use values, which are the lights and the darks. The foundation to good drawing is good drawing skills and proportional lines, but the next step to getting form and depth in representational art forms is really pushing the limitations of your tool. The human eye can see a wide range of light and dark, and in fact we pretty much see in black and white. The rods make up most of our seeing abilities in our retina. So in the same way that video works, is it's luminance, dark and light, contrast, and then the color kind of sits on top in many ways. In order to get our drawings to look really good, we need to be able to control the light and dark. So I'm going to show you time lapse of where I am at right now in the studio. Enjoy. So, of course, I got to get the studio prepared and ready. Once again, moving around some stuff. You'll see that I have a light pencil drawing already began of sort of where I want the placement of the body parts. This is going to help me later with proportions. But I take my compressed charcoal and I'm going to block in my darkest areas and largest shapes first, keeping it simple. I give it a quick wipe and that loosens off and allows me to apply more charcoal. One thing I really want to emphasize when you're doing charcoal drawings, especially on higher quality paper like this Arches from France, is that you can really push the charcoal into the material. A lot of times we experience in life drawing classes or on newsprint, we do our drawing and then the charcoal just kind of lifts and falls off, or we roll it up and then it makes this splotchy smoky like press on the back of the paper just because the material doesn't stay there. Well, I use the stump, or what some call the blending stick, to really push in, shove that material into the paper. As you're rubbing, sometimes it releases material, and you know your midtones are about, you know, your charcoal pressed pretty evenly and then rubbed in. And then if you want it to be darker, add more charcoal material and rub vigorously. You can really use a lot of strength. Art doesn't necessarily have to be wimpy. You can be pretty vigorous and strong with this. Just don't push your easel over. And as you need more darks, you layer them once again and press more material on. You should be able to, even with a toned paper, rub quite vigorously with your kneadable eraser or vinyl eraser in order to bring back out the lights. You may never truly get to the whiteness of the paper again, which is why they have tools like white charcoal that you can just put right back on top of again. I leave some areas blank and like more dryly. I find that when I'm working I get really interested in an area, and sometimes that's really distracting to not just keep going back and forth over the whole thing. There's a real push and pull which makes it fun. It's like you're sculpting in clay, but you're just doing it with your lights and your darks on a two-dimensional surface. I'm still just using big charcoal at this point, and in the next episode when we talk about darks and lights further, I'll talk about some of the variety of the other tools I use after this major blocking in stage. A lot of times too, you're not seeing that I'm using a soft brush and brushing the whole surface to get rid of any of the excess charcoal that could be sitting on the surface. Or as I brush it, it kind of smudges it. It makes it look much softer, which can give you really nice variations of tones. So it's not so crispy and chunky like we're used to when we're not blowing off the material or rubbing it in densely. This was episode 6, Values, and I hope that it's inspired you to really push the limitations of your tools, get more darkness out of them, to create more depth. And I hope you enjoyed watching, and join us again for episode 7, Darks and Lights. See you next time.